All right, what's good, everybody? What's up? This is Goat James Kingdom with Ajani and B. Ajani's having a little bit of an issue with his internet, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with the panel. So you guys go ahead and reintroduce you guys.
What's going on, Ralph here?
What's going on? It's Craig.
What's going on? It's Devontae.
All right, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started off right now. So the first thing we're gonna do is talk about the standings right now. So I don't know if you guys watched the game yesterday, Lakers in Boston.
That was a foul. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah,
That was a foul.
It was clearly a foul. I think Tatum was trying to foul him just so he could shoot free throws, but I don't know. It's weird. The ref was just right there, just didn't want to call it.
It was a foul, but that's the. I mean, they still got to play on. He still got extra 5 minutes.
That's true. You still got to play on, but something that obvious is kind of ridiculous.
yeah. It was funny how Pat Bev pull out that camera.
Yeah,
even
right.
tell the ref.
Yeah, the
that
ref was
was
pissed
wild.
off.
Like, you don't see this?
The ref was
Yo.
pissed off, gave a tech. Yeah, but I remember when LeBron used to drive to the hole in Miami to win certain games, and he would get fouled, and all of a sudden he just stopped doing it because he stopped getting fouls, and he kept shooting these long, weird threes and like long fadeaway jumpers. I like, dude, just drive to the hole. Like they cannot not call foul all the time, but versus the Mavs, they did the same thing. He went to the hole, they hacked him when he was trying to shoot another layup. So in like 2 weeks, he got fouled 2 times going to the hole. So maybe that's in his mindset that if you go to the hole, you ain't gonna get the call.
Yeah, it's like I've noticed, like with players like that, that's very imposing on their strength. They tend not to call the foul. They did that with Shaq as well,
Mhm.
because when they oppose their strength and it's like overbearing to where it's like, man, I can't give you all the fouls. I remember Shaq saying that in one of his takes. He was like, man, you gotta call a foul. I can't do it all the time. He was like, yes, you can. So
Yeah, Giannis gets a lot of fouls.
I was just
yeah,
about to say, man.
yeah, that's crazy. I think after a while they're gonna work on Giannis as well.
Like Melo never got the foul, and you know how physical he was at the rim. Like I think it's because he had flopped Melo that they just didn't call it, or maybe it was just Melo. That's why
He's
they
just
didn't
erratic.
call it.
That's why.
But he just never got the call as it is. So I know how they said like Wilt used to get hacked all the time as well. So I didn't see Wilt play, so I'm pretty sure that's how it was in those days as well. But I don't think too many players were shooting over 10 free throws a game anyway. Too much.
Nah.
Shaq got fouled because they know he couldn't shoot free throws. So
Yeah.
him,
Yeah,
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they got intentionally fouled a lot of times.
I watched that
All right.
Philly game, man. Woo! Embiid went off.
What do you
We have 47 and like 18
47.
rebounds, something.
Yes, he had 35 before the fourth quarter.
Man, like these players are scoring at a clip today. That's like the 60s. Like they just put it up numbers.
Yeah, just to mention the 60s didn't have no 3-point line, so
That could have been even
that's
worse.
all. Not saying this, I'm just saying like this to a clip. Now you just got to put in perspective how good the 60s were to score like that, which on twos and ones.
Yeah.
Your joint working now?
Yes, indeed, it's working out. What's good, everybody? What's
All
good?
right,
What's
that's
good?
good.
Good.
All
There
right,
we go.
we just going here. We was talking about the standings in the game yesterday. How they don't want to call fouls for LeBron.
Oh my God! Oh man, the Lakers don't get a good break, man. There was like 4 or 5 games this year they could have won off of little stuff like that, but it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. Referees are, they're human. They make their mistakes, but
And you can't keep doing it all the time to the same team.
yeah, that's true though. I mean, it's for LeBron, it's bad. He only averages 6 free throws per game, and for people who always say he can only get to the rim, he definitely doesn't get a lot of fouls called. They definitely treat him like Shaq. Brandon and I talked about it. They treat him like Shaq. They let people be physical with him. So, but that was a clear foul all the way throughout.
I
Yeah.
give him that. Yeah.
So, Yeah.
All right. So
My
let's go
Heat. Oh, y'all see my Heat, right? You see my Heat. I know them.
I
Knicks
don't want to
fans.
hear that.
Yeah, I know you don't want to hear that. I know y'all Knicks
That's all
quiet.
right.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
We were,
That's
yo,
all
I
right.
lost. I
That's
lost
all
the
right.
one that brought us down though. We was ahead yesterday though
And
before we
okay.
lost.
Yeah, before, before we
It's
lost.
fine. Yeah, it's gonna go back and forth. Watch.
Y'all let Kyrie score 21 in the fourth on y'all.
Man, yo,
Jesus.
I was
Wow.
yelling at the screen. I had to, I was about to punch my TV.
He got the most. He scored the 20 points the most time in the fourth quarter. He did it 4 times, and then this started with Kevin Durant went out. He got
Wow.
4 games scoring 20 or more points in the fourth quarter.
They were lighting it up though from the beginning though. They were on
yeah.
fire early. So
It was like 55% from the three, like 22 or 40 from 3-point line.
They were hitting them. They were hitting them.
Yeah,
Yesterday was
like
good
out of
though.
this world.
It was great to have prime time basketball. Yes, it was great. It was great. It was great.
All right, so this is the news. What LeBron needs to get to pass Kareem. So he's gonna do it on the road. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Most likely he's gonna pass him on the road.
the next
What
4
if he-
games on the road.
What if he scores 60 in back-to-back games and do it in the Madison Square Garden?
Nah, we don't need that. We don't need that.
You think he's gonna play the back-to-back games? I think he's gonna sit out one of these games.
Nah,
I don't
he's
think
gonna
so.
play at the
He's
Garden.
not sitting out versus Brooklyn, and he's definitely not sitting out versus the Knicks.
Okay. Oh, that's the next 2 opponents. It's the Knicks.
Yeah.
and then
So
it's Brooklyn?
so he's definitely not sitting out those games.
Ooh.
And he can't afford to sit out. They haven't been winning. Like he can't really afford to sit out.
AD's back. It's AD's turn. Take it. Yeah.
I mean,
remember he is
so
38.
fragile.
He is
He's
38.
so fragile as a glass. It'll be his luck. He sit out and the AD get hurt and they just messed up.
AD wake up with an injury, like
Yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
gonna be like the house of straw, like in the 3 Little Pigs.
Jesus. I gotta leave that man alone.
Man, he
All
get
right.
hurt too much. He's a great player.
you know, it's people always putting his foot under his, and he always messing up his leg. That's what it is.
That's
All
what it
right,
is.
so I was gonna do some video clips, but since we only have one hour today, I just we're just gonna discuss what we had to discuss because that's gonna make the show even longer. So let's go ahead and go to our slides about the failures of the NBA because we always talk about LeBron didn't do this, LeBron didn't do that. We only bring up LeBron failures and everyone's positive. So this is what this show is going to be about. We're going to discuss the failures of everybody and just put everything in the same perspective. So the first one, Johnny, I guess you go ahead and take this stuff.
Okay, all right, yeah. So, last week we were told that failures is a part of the conversation. And, remember we went on Al and Powell's show last year. Remember we had that conversation before the finals. And we always tell people that it seems like the conversation for the GOAT conversation becomes a conversation of measuring failures, right? Because everybody wants to be subjective. Everybody wants to throw in there, the little 1-2, cent in there. So if we look at the players that are usually in the top 10, we'll start off with Stephen Curry. He's injury prone. He doesn't have an all defensive selection. All he could really do is shoot the ball. He recruited KD after he choked in the finals in 2016. He's had the most help in his era. I mean, literally, he's had the most help in his era. We know he can't play defense. He's undersized. I mean, there's so many things about Stephen Curry that you can just list off the top of your head. And obviously, his 4 championships in LeBron's era is why people put him in the top 10. But clearly, Stephen Curry's nowhere in the top 10, but you guys love to talk about him like he's, again, he did change the game because he revolutionized the 3-point shooting and made people feel comfortable taking 30, 40-foot jumpers, shooting off the dribble. But still, at the end of the day, these are all his flaws, man. These are all his negatives, man. And there's probably more that I can go off the top of my head if I wanted to.
Well, the only thing I agree with most of it. The only thing is the undersized because he's 6'3" as a point guard. That's pretty the norm of a point guard.
But isn't he like $150 wet?
No, he's
bigger now. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's undersized either for a point guard.
Is he
But he doesn't really play a point guard. That's the thing. I think that's the thing. Like he's vulnerable to like mismatches because he's for the mismatches today. Yeah, because like in Cleveland, 2016, all he did was switch him on LeBron. But that's a
or
mismatch for
Kyrie,
any player.
or put him on Kyrie. He couldn't stop Kyrie either.
But that's his defense.
Yeah, that everything else I agree with the exception of the undersized thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's too undersized.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's 6'3" officially, or is that the NBA size?
No, he's 6'3".
He's about 6'3". Yeah, he's about 6'3".
I've stood directly next to him, and I'm 6 feet. I'm looking him eye to eye.
He's 6'3" with sneakers on.
My brother's 6'3", and he stood next to him. They stand toe to toe. I don't know about that.
I'm 6'4", so I've never been next to Stephen Curry. I don't know, but he's always been considered undersized. I mean, he did bulk up. Like, he is a man now, right? But I mean, this picture's like an older picture. You can tell he's kind of skinny. He kind of bulked up in his. He's a man now. He's in his 30s, so he's not as scrawny as he was. But that's his flaws. That's what that was in his scouting report when they were drafting him. All of that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Now
it's different. Yeah, now it's different.
And this ain't the show to be talking about now. We ain't talking negatives. All these negatives count. We count everything. He's undersized.
Oh my God, that was the scout. You're absolutely right. That was the scouting.
That's why the Knicks. That's why the Knicks passed on him. That's why the Knicks.
Nah, we didn't pass on him.
Oh no, you didn't. That's right. He got picked right before y'all. Right before.
Man,
right before. You're right.
They were gonna go for Jordan Hill, and so if we didn't get Jordan Hill, we definitely was going to snatch him because he did want to come to New York to play under Dan and Tony's system. But Golden State snatched him up. I was like, dang.
They did.
That could have been history.
That's history. All right. So let's go to the next guy. Okay, Hakeem Olajuwon. All right, this one is real easy because, first of all, Hakeem only won when Michael Jordan quit. Okay, he couldn't win before that. He couldn't win after that. All right, he's a bad free throw shooter. Okay, he shoots below average. All right, he recruited Drexler. All right, he needed help. He saw the walls coming down. All right, he went and got Barkley the next year after that. And he went and got Pippen. He lost with them. All right, he got swept in the first round. He has longevity. He's played over 1,000 games. I think like 17 NBA seasons. He never averaged 30 points per game in an NBA season in his career. He never shot over 53% as a big man, which is really bad. He only shot that once as a rookie. So Hakeem Olajuwon has some flaws as well. And at the end of the day, I know a lot of people love him for his little shimmy shake and all that other stuff, but he got rocked throughout the 90s with other big men. Patrick used to ball on him. David used to ball on him. He used to get the business done on him. He did.
But he beat him when they mattered.
Nah.
It only mattered 2 years?
He used to cook Patrick. Every time we faced him, he cooked Patrick.
Patrick used to cook him too, though. Patrick used to ball out on him too, though.
But Hakeem always got the best of him. Hakeem got out of all the centers in the 90s, I can say when he was in that prime, he was cooking every big man. Now the 80s, that's a different story.
Averaging
80s, he was praised, but he was dominant in the 80s too.
Yeah,
he was pretty good in the 80s.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't put recruiting Drexler as a negative.
Drexler wanted to leave Portland.
Yeah, he wanted to get out of there.
But he didn't have to go to Houston.
That's not Hakeem's fault.
Hakeem approved it. Hakeem said, Hakeem said, let's make it happen.
They were actually
against
Maxwell.
Say no?
Because that's what 90s players do. They don't recruit. They don't accept players coming to their team. That's what I hear all the time.
I seen the documentary. They were actually against that because they loved Otis Thorpe, and when they did that trade, they were actually the team was not really too keen on Clyde Drexler. Now Hakeem, he has that connection because they played in college, so Hakeem didn't have no issue with it. But the whole team was like, "Yo, we just won the championship last year. Why are we gonna break this tandem up, even though we're going through what we're going through?"
Because Hakeem wanted him. That's why. Because Hakeem wanted him, and that's what happened. That's what his buddy. They were college friends. All that stuff. Yeah, you guys just broke it down perfectly.
He didn't have a problem.
What you say, Devontae? What do you say, Devontae?
I think Hakeem wanted him there to have a 5 Slammer Jammer Part 2.
Okay, see, he could have had Ralph Sampson too if Ralph Sampson wasn't hurt neither. He would have wanted everybody there. He went and got Barkley the next year.
Ralph Sampson was already there.
No, they got Barkley in 97, 2 years later. Then they got Pippen 2 years after that. He was loving it. That's all they was doing, just trying to help him out. And then he went to Toronto.
Barkley was fat when he got there. That wasn't the Barkley we knew.
And long
and
longevity. That's
Yeah.
that's not a negative.
that's a negative. It's a negative for LeBron. It's a negative for everybody that got longevity. And he ain't got no real sneakers. He had Spaldings, man. You can get that as Payless. That's a negative right
Oh
there.
my God! Come on, man.
Add that to the list.
I think for his career, what he shoot like 47 or 48%, something like that.
No, he shot 50% from the field as for his career.
For his career.
51.
Yeah,
he shot
51, something like that. Yeah, but he never shot above 53. And as a big man, he should be shooting better than that.
That's not too bad.
That's bad. That's bad. If it's bad, it's bad. That's it. We're not playing games. There's no black. It's black or white. It's either good or you bad. That's what it
92,
is.
93, he shot 52.9.
Okay, 52.9 isn't 53, is it?
You got that.
Yeah, okay, you should know better than anybody trying to do that. Devontae, go ahead, Devontae. Go ahead,
I give you that. I give you that.
Go ahead, Devontae.
Well, I gotta agree with my man Ralph here. Being right here in New York, every time I saw Hakeem and Ewan play, Hakeem just did him dirty every time. I can't remember Ewan doing Hakeem dirty since he beat him in college.
Yeah. You're right.
But how many of those regular season games did y'all really watch between the Houston and the Knicks? Because they only played each other.
I'm a Knicks fan. What kind of question?
I'm just saying because what's it called was in the league since. That's what I'm saying. What's called Patrick's been in the league since '85, right? And this guy was in the league in '84. He got drafted. So since what about '87, '88, '89? So '89, Patrick wasn't whooping on Hakeem in '89.
I don't know if he was whipping on him. I just can't remember him doing it. You know.
Yeah, he can speak. The 80s, I can't speak for it.
Because you see what I'm saying? I don't remember LeBron choking in 2011, but y'all remind me every day. So I'm gonna remind y'all all these motherfuckers that choke.
Well, I can't speak for the 80s. I can't speak for the 80s because I was too young. Devontae, he's older, so he might know that. But I can speak for the 90s. No, Hakeem was
92 Knicks was getting whooped by the Houston Rockets.
Every time we played in the regular season, Hakeem gave us the business.
Good. With 23 points, 51%.
Hey.
What's the next guy? Let's go because I got more, man. You know me, I always got more, man. I love this, man. All right, here we go. Tim Duncan, right? Now you would think there's no negatives with Tim Duncan, but there's a lot of negatives with this guy. This guy never ever was like any seasonal leader in anything. He didn't have no rebounding titles, block titles, scoring titles, nothing at all. He was another bad free throw shooter. He's another guy that has longevity, right? Played too many years, all right? And that's how he was able to win and do so much, right? He let his teammates win finals MVPs on him, just sat back and watched people win for him, okay? He had the most Hall of Fame help, all kind of Hall of Fame help, first ballot Hall of Famers, international help. He averaged less than 20 points per game for his career. He also has another bad field goal percentage. He shoots 50% for his career. As a big man, you should be shooting just 50%. At all. You should be shooting better than that. He had to stay in college because he was not athletic. He wasn't good enough to do all the stuff. He was all this little skills. Tim Duncan this, Tim Duncan that. This man never won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Tim Duncan has a lot of negatives and a lot of flaws in his game as well.
Well, I'm gonna say with the no season leader, I agree with that. Bad free throw shooter, yeah. Longevity, I always say longevity is not bad. I always say it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let teammates win finals MVP. Yeah, two got away from him. Most Hall of Fame help.
David Robinson, all kinds of people.
David was he was on his last leg.
He won 2 championships because of that man.
That man was on his last leg. That was a David Robinson. Bad field goal. I mean, like when you say bad field goal, I take. No, that was not the Admiral. But as far as bad field goal, I'm gonna say like that field goal percentage.
What should a big man shoot?
That's within. It depends on the era, man.
No, it's a big man. They all been close to the rim. What do you think a big man should shoot if he's shooting 10 to 15 jumpers, whatever, within 10 feet all the time? What should his field goal percentage be? It should be 50%.
I think like, relatively to that era, like today's era, I expect them to shoot 55 or more, how high the scoring is. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're like a 90s going into the 2000s during your prime, I expected probably between like 50, 53, somewhere around there. Had to stay in college for come on, man.
Come on, and listen,
had to
man.
stay in
Listen,
college
listen.
for 4 years.
There was Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, there was Jermaine O'Neal, there was all kind of players, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. A lot of people left early in that era. He didn't have to stay 4 years. He stayed 4 years because he wasn't ready for the NBA, man. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Now I'm gonna say this: never defensive player of the year. I
Never.
felt like he got lost in the sauce, considering that all those big men, defensive big men. That he,
excuses after excuses.
I mean, I felt like like Joel Embiid is gonna fall into that factor. I feel like, you know, as far as the MVP, he's gonna get lost in the sauce because of the other players that's around. So that's why I say with Tim Duncan, I mean, it's not an excuse. Not athletic. He was Mr. Fundamental, bro. That's true, but he played the game fundamentally. So,
oh my God,
I wouldn't.
Right. I'm listening.
I wouldn't say non-athletic. Go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't say longevity is a negative. I don't know why people think longevity is a negative. Like, and don't look at me, because I always said longevity means how long you played. That's what I said. That's all.
There's only one fan base who say that. That's the problem.
Ooh, because I could have swore you said that only people that were better than Jordan were people that played longer.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay,
playing long. That's I said no. What I said was that the overall stats means how long you played. That's what I said.
Okay, well, longevity is a negative. It's a negative for LeBron. It's a negative for Tim Duncan, because he's like in the top ranking in a bunch of stats, like blocks and steals. I mean, not steals and rebounds and all that kind of stuff in the playoffs. Everything. He has all kinds of longevity stats.
And then the whole thing about the college, then everybody mostly went to college. He didn't have to stay. He chose to stay. I mean, he got a degree. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. And one negative I would put upon him is that he was never able to repeat as a team. They always won, then lost, then won. That's see
what I'm saying? See, now y'all get this show. Come on, get with it. Come on, get with the show now.
He was never able to repeat. LeBron did it. Jordan did it. All the greats did it. He wasn't able to do it.
We're going to add that one on the list too. That's another one. Thank you. I appreciate that. I ain't even thinking nothing like that. Go ahead, Devontae.
I don't agree with longevity. I definitely don't agree with the stayed in college for 4 years. He could have left after his junior year if he wanted to. Probably after his sophomore year. If he really wanted to, they would have got him in the first round. Probably a lottery pick. You know, so I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, poor Tim Duncan.
Well, I know Charles Barkley was saying that the only reason that LeBron is so good because he didn't go to college, because it's basically easier to just go to the NBA. So, you know, people just say ridiculous things. College is harder than the NBA at 18 years old.
I'll say if he went to college, he would be better. If LeBron went to college, we would probably have a different discussion now.
How would it be better?
Because he like Isaiah said it best. When you go to college, you start learning more of the fundamentals on that level, to where he came in not having that type of college experience and that fundamentals that you can get from college.
Like what fundamentals you think he needed in college?
I think it.
Nah, go ahead, Craig.
No, I would just say the only thing for me, it would have helped him be a better defender for me if he would have went to college. Because now, like when he came into the NBA, it was more so it was pressure on him. So he was trying to do too much. No one was gonna tell him, like, I'm the #1 pick. I came out of high school. No one was trying to tell him nothing, nothing like that. At least for college, he would have just been another college player.
I
think he would have been better.
I think the only advantage he would have had is if he would have had an all-time Hall of Fame college coach. So if he would have had Coach K, maybe somebody that was like something like that. But other than that, he everything y'all talking about, he would have learned in the NBA.
The only thing he would have learned is how to have more fun in college. That's about
Like,
Mo
yeah,
White
like,
Jr.
I think
nothing would have helped LeBron James in college be a better player.
I think what Johnny was saying, like a Hall of Fame coach, like Coach K, because LeBron could have went to any college he wanted,
Yeah.
and if he would have went to, which I think,
No.
well, he said he was gonna go to Ohio State if he would have picked the college, right? I
Who
think
was their
that's
coach?
Home. He wanted to stay close to home.
Oh, who was
Yeah.
their coach? It wouldn't have worked then. If it would have had to be someone like Boeheim. Has to be like a
I mean,
legendary coach. It
I
has to be a
don't- I
legendary
don't-
coach.
I don't know who was the coach then, but like he definitely I felt like instead of like that's for instance, his stat line of 20 points a game. I think if he would have went to college at least 1 year, I think that would have added probably another 5 to 7 more points on his average his first year coming out.
But that's what he did in
Definitely.
his second
Because
year.
they would have because
He learned more
He-
in his rookie year than he would ever learn in college.
But he averaged 27. He went up 7
Yeah,
points
he
from his
wouldn't-
rookie year.
he
to
would not
sophomore
have
year.
never
So
learned
hey, he
anything
would have
more
started out
than his
like
rookie
that.
year.
I
He
mean,
was
yeah.
18 years old.
He
like,
would have started out like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He's 18 years
Even
old.
1 year, he would have. Nah, he would have been
Nah,
better.
but
Nah,
listen, but
he
at
would
that
not have been
time,
better.
the NBA was letting high school players in. So since '95, when Garnett was drafted, even like Jason Kidd left early, right? I think Jason Kidd
Sean
left after
Kemp
his
His kid
sophomore
left
year.
his sophomore year.
Shoot,
Yeah.
you
But no,
had
but Sean-
Moses Malone was the
No, but those were different things. We talked about that, but I'm just saying about in the '90s, it started becoming where they were like, okay, they got rid of the hardship. They were just letting players come in, and a lot more players were allowed to come in from high school. So again,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But again, stop making excuses for these players. Let's go for the next one.
no excuses.
All right,
Dang,
we
why
gon-
you had to put it in yellow? I barely can see
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of hard to see that one.
Oh, that's hard to see. Don't worry, because I talk better than that. Y'all can read. So
No, you talk too fast sometimes.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. I do. All right, so let me slow down. So Shaq's negatives. All right. So Shaq has obviously he played with Kobe, he's played with Penny, he's played with Dwayne Wade, he's played basically with one of them, a lot of dynamic guards in his career. He's had a lot of help that way. He has no blocking or rebounding championships. He only has 3 all-defensive selections, no defensive player of the year, a horrible free throw shooter. All right. He teamed hop. All right. We all know Shaq liked to go from team to team. Okay. He had several super teams that were built for him, like several teams that Shaq went to that were like full of stars, loaded with great players. He only won 1 MVP. He also has longevity. He never averaged 30 points per game, and he was never in shape. And Shaq has, out of all the players we're going to be talking about, Shaq has the most playoff sweeps. He's been swept more than anybody.
Like I said, longevity is the only thing that I wouldn't put on there.
Stop it. Longevity
Nah,
counts.
I
That's
been
it.
told you that. I say that every time. Longevity is not a negative. I've always said that.
You're gonna see it. If they got over 1,000 games in 15 seasons, it's gonna say longevity.
But as far as everything else, I mean, yeah, you're right. I can't even argue with the rest of the stuff, but longevity, like I said, it's not a bad thing.
Craig.
Well, yeah, you got it right. Well, he got the most sweeps. So, he's got swept in every round, if you want to be technical.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you need to put where longevity's at.
The only person I know, like I said, got swept in the first round, second round, third round, and the fight.
Dang, I didn't even really think about that.
I don't know how you the most dominant big man with that stat line.
What you think, Devontae?
I would add he was never, I mean, at least as far as I can remember, he was never great against another great big man in the playoffs.
He was great against David Robinson.
Yeah, he destroyed David Robinson.
He wasn't admiral then.
Well,
he was toy soldier. He wasn't.
No,
admiral then.
that was in 90. Well, yeah, he wasn't that.
He was.
That was in 2001.
Nah.
Okay, but what happened in '99?
Nah, that wasn't the Admiral in 2001.
That was toy soldier.
Yeah, he was not the Admiral.
Okay, see, so there's no excuses for none of these players today.
For me,
calling them out.
For me, I always been a big Shaq fan growing up. He played with my favorite player, Penny, and throughout the years, before I used to say LeBron's the greatest, I used to always think Shaq was the second greatest player of all time because how dominant he was. every time I used to watch you, you just used to dominate people. Then, you know, getting older and actually watching Shaq play, man, he has a lot of faults in his game. And the main thing for me is how sensitive he is. He's the most sensitive player that I have ever seen. I know they like to talk about how Kevin Durant is sensitive, but Shaq would leave players if they're getting too much pub. Like he left Penny because he wasn't the man there. Kobe was talking one time and Phil came up to him. He told Kobe that he needs to stop scoring too much because it's hurting Shaq's confidence. So Kobe had to stop shooting the ball as much. Kobe had to lessen his game just so Shaq could feel better about himself.
As far
Like
as the Lakers,
that's the type of player Shaq was.
as far as the Lakers, yeah, I agree with you 100%. With the Magic, it was more so money because you know
They ain't want
he couldn't get that money that he was
talking to
wanted.
listen to the
They said
players.
no.
Listen to the players from the Magics. They were saying that Shaq was feeling a certain way about how Penny was the man in the league. He had the commercials. He had the shoes. He was all NBA first team. Shaq was none of that. Shaq was like, I'm the man on the team, and Penny is getting everything.
I agree with Brandon, and a part of what Ralph is saying is true. What happened with Orlando was it wasn't that Orlando wasn't going to give Shaq the money. They tried to shortchange him at first because of Penny. But then when Alonzo got his money in Miami, Shaq was like, no, I want my 100. I'm going, I gotta be, I want my money. And Jerry West convinced, Shaq at the time that was it. So Shaq, you're right, Brandon. Shaq is very sensitive. That's why he could have swallowed his pride with Kobe. He didn't do it then. He could have swallowed his pride in Miami because even after winning the championship, he thought he was the man. And Pat Riley was like, no, you got to stay in shape. You got to and he was like, nah, man, I'm Shaq. I'm the diesel.
That is.
And he went to Phoenix talking about winning the championship, and he got fatter there. Then he left there and went to Cleveland and thought LeBron was going to win him a championship and got fatter there. And he went to Boston after that and thought he was going to get a championship.
LeBron won the most games of his career with Shaq as his teammate.
And then I know it was one time Shaq and Penny was like going to the like game to play each other, and they was on this elevator. Shaq would say a word to Penny. Yeah, Shaq would say like Shaq had us. He wasn't feeling how much the media was loving Penny.
I agree with you.
You see what happened to Penny after he left.
Penny was that dude though, man. Penny was
hurt.
that dude. If he didn't get hurt, because they were comparing him to Magic.
Just like Penny said, if he knew what he knew today, he would have took his time to get better. But they wanted to rush him back. He wanted to rush back, and his knee just never healed because he just kept trying to rush back.
Yeah, and that's Shaq's fault because if Shaq stays, you don't have to rush him back. You can have somebody to lean on, but Shaq left.
How you gonna put that?
Because we talking about negative, and it's Shaq's turn. It's Shaq's turn.
All right, let's go ahead and move on.
Oh man. Okay, this one.
Oh, now you want to put it in purple?
Huh? Well, everybody gets their own color because everybody gets to shine their own little way. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about Kobe Bryant for a little bit here. Now, Kobe Bryant's negatives. Y'all know I'm I guess a self-admitted Kobe hater, so I could easily do this, man. Kobe shot bad. All right, Kobe shot bad. He was a bad shooter. He only won with Shaq. Okay, he won with Shaq. That's what made him all the prime and all that. He was able to develop himself under Shaq, and while Shaq was taking all the brunt of everything during the early Laker years, he demanded a trade after 2007 losing. Okay, he quit on his team in a playoff game. We all saw it. He quit on his team. He's a high-volume shooter, which is a real bad basketball player. All right, he's a horrible teammate. Okay, he only won with all NBA help. Okay, he had all NBA teammate every championship he ever had. Okay, and even every finals he went to. Except for one finals. And then he has only one MVP. He only has 2 scoring titles. He won no Defensive Player of the Year, and of course, he has longevity.
Oh God!
And he got swept in the and he got swept before, and a gentleman's sweep in the finals.
I'm gonna leave the longevity thing because it's probably on every single day of people. But
it's gonna go on the video too. It's gonna go on the video too. Every time you said it's gonna go on the video.
So no need to say anything on that. Horrible teammate.
At times he's a bad teammate.
Yeah, just Smush Parker. That really does stand out. Only one with all NBA help. It's true.
Yeah, that's every
I
player.
mean,
Almost.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not GOAT James. Not GOAT James. Not every championship, baby. Not GOAT James.
Man. I don't want to hear that. I know. I
The thing about the one MVP, I know people say he should have won more. It's hard to really pick out another one other than the time that he, averaged a lot of points, but he was a very low seed that year. I think he was like a 7 seed.
Yeah.
But 06,
yeah,
right? 06?
Like that's the only time that he could have won
I thought,
another
wasn't
MVP.
it 05? Wasn't 05 his best season scoring wise? No? Or was it 06?
2006.
When he averaged 35.
I think it's 2005, 06. So it was that year.
No, because I
81 point season.
I want to say
that's when he scored like 50
points,
points, like 9 straight games or something like that, right?
Like that's the only year he could have had another one. Like what other year could he had another one?
One of those Steve Nash ones.
That's the same 07.
That's
Nash won
that's
07.
the 06.
No.
When he won.
Yeah,
that's 06
Nash.
when he won.
Yeah.
Even though, that's the year he won.
That's the only one that I will say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the only one he could have, but it wasn't controversial. He was a 7th seed, so it wasn't really controversial.
Mm-hmm. So, what you think, Craig?
I ain't got nothing to say.
Nothing to say on the negative show. Nothing at all. God,
I mean, you said all of the negatives.
Yeah, what we always say. If you right, we ain't gonna argue. Not all of them. We've been saying it.
I gotta step up my Kobe hate then. Damn shit.
I mean, snitch, but I mean,
no. See, I didn't want to. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. I guess NBA Talk said he actually quit when you like in a playoff series. Remember when he wouldn't shoot the ball in Game 7?
Yeah, I put that there.
Yeah, that was against the Suns, right?
Yeah, against the Suns. Yeah, he didn't take no shots and stuff like that. Supposedly he quit.
They quit on the team in the playoffs. I see it.
Yeah, quit on his team in the playoffs.
Mad.
Yeah. What up, Devontae? What you got for me about Kobe?
On this one, I agree with everything on here. Ain't nothing you can say about it. Everything on here is correct.
So
even the longevity.
We got.
I don't agree with longevity.
Well, don't nobody agrees with longevity.
Not longevity at all.
It's just the Jordan fans in the media about LeBron.
So damn, we got some undercover Kobe haters around here. Look at y'all. Oh my God. Look at y'all.
Nah, it ain't no hate when it's true.
What about you, Brandon? Because Brandon has Kobe is higher than anybody here, right? I don't think nobody has Kobe.
He's the third greatest of all time to me.
Exactly. So you agree with this, Brandon?
He wasn't a bad field goal percentage. Wasn't bad. It was about average. He won with Shaq. That's not a negative.
Was it below average or above average?
It was about average, 45%. That's about average for a player, for a guard.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's 45.
Like
right? So,
Jordan, his last three-peat, he shot the same as Kobe. Like that's about average. Jordan wasn't a bad field goal percentage. He just wasn't that efficient as LeBron James. I mean, that's just how it goes. Like these one MVP, which is a negative. Yes, it is. But no other year he could have really won one. Mm-hmm. No defense player of the year. He got 9 first-team All-NBAs, but he's not going to get voted as a defensive player of the year. That's just a Jordan thing. All right, we go ahead and move on.
Real quick, we have a Kobe number 824 on.
I don't know who this dude is. He's been spamming us. He's been spamming us.
Yeah, he wants to get on because we've been talking about Kobe. He's upset now. That's it, man. Kobe got the hate that he deserved to get. Everybody getting hate today. That's what it is. This show's about hating players because I was hating on LeBron every other episode before this one.
All right, you go ahead and explain. Bird, it's kind of hard to see for me.
Oh, it's hard for y'all to see. Don't worry. Like I said, I'm gonna talk slowly. I'm gonna give y'all some good ones here. Bird's negative. He was non-athletic. Okay. He also has no stat leadership. He owns no scoring titles, rebounding titles, blocks, steals titles, none of that. He only has 3 all-defensive selections. He has no Defensive Player of the Year award. He played less than 1,000 games. He let a broken foot sophomore score 63 on him in a playoff game in his arena. He lost to the Isaiah's Pistons in '88, which was really just Isaiah as an all-star. He let Isaiah beat him. He couldn't beat Magic without fouling and playing football instead of basketball. He wouldn't shake hands after a game. Okay, he used to just walk right off the court, and he had the most help in the 80s, man. I mean, he played with Pistol Pete Maravich, man. This guy played with almost every great player you want to talk about during the 80s. So that is Larry Bird's negatives. There's probably more, but that was just what I felt like talking about.
All the comments you highlight that comment.
this is hilarious right here.
Okay, yo.
I mean, yeah, that dude pissed off.
It got serious.
Yeah.
I'm not going for the let broke foot sophomore. That's a shot. Screw that one. Screw that one.
I mean, how you let that happen to you? You're supposed to be the legendary Larry. How you let that happen to you?
Well, you heard what he said about him, though. Lost
Mm-hmm.
side that couldn't beat Magic. I mean, yeah, he did have the most help in the 80s. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, I mean, besides the broke foot joint, I agree with everything. We're not going with that. No. He was just that great. He couldn't do nothing.
I love it. It's so great. Yeah. Oh. All right, Craig.
Else.
Craig's not into this one. Craig's like, listen, y'all are taking it too far into this week. Y'all are taking it too far.
Yeah, I don't know, because he beat Pistons, he beat Magic at least once in the playoffs. He beat both of them. Yeah, so I don't know how. I mean, that's a negative that he lost to a team he beat, and he lost in
85, and he lost in 87 to Magic, and then he lost in 88 and 89 to Isaiah.
But
so
he had to beat.
He beat Isaiah in 87. He did. But Isaiah, that was the one where Isaiah.
I guess because he's not undefeated versus him.
You gotta be undefeated. You gotta be able to beat them.
Oh my God. I see where you're going with that.
I ain't going nowhere but negativity.
Nah,
it's all negativity. That's where I'm going.
I know where you're going with it.
Well, the positive thing is that he doesn't have longevity, so that's a positive for him.
Lord have mercy.
Devontae, what you think, Devontae?
The broken foot thing, that's kind of weak, especially when they won the game still.
Yeah, I was going to say, they still won.
They still won the game, and he definitely beat Magic in 84 finals. You know, I don't know where that came from because he beat Magic in 84. Just shaking hands, that's I mean, that's how it should be. You shouldn't have to shake somebody's hand after a loss. This we all friends league now, they playing now is weak. I like it when teams have animosity in the playoffs.
I guess only one player had to shake hands, so it's all good.
But I do agree. I do agree he had a lot of help. I know that 86 Celtics had like 5 Hall of Famers on it, something like that, right?
Yeah, they had a lot. They had
40-1 at home.
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Y'all hate on my guy Bird. All right, let's go to Magic.
Okay, Magic. We're gonna go to Magic. All right. Magic had no all defensive selections. All right. He can't shoot the ball. He had no crossover. All right. He won with Kareem and a bunch of all-stars. All right. He choked in the 84 finals. All right. He got swept twice in the finals. All right. He has 4 finals losses. All right. And he let a 38-year-old Kareem win the finals MVP on him. And he played less than 1,000 games. Let's not mention he shortened his career because of his personal lifestyle.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're going over the top now. The no all defensive, that's right. He was a bad shooter. No crossover. I mean,
he wasn't a bad shooter.
When have y'all ever seen Magic cross over anybody? When have you seen Magic?
But the thing is that
6'9", he had to do all that.
He didn't have to do that in the 80s because they.
That's not the that.
Hey, Brandon, you hear all this, right, Brandon? I know you hear all this, Brandon. I know you hear.
The crossover thing, that's the time frame, man. But one with Kareem and All-Stars, yeah, he did. Choked, yeah, he definitely did that. Oh my God. That's a tragic Johnson. Swept twice in the finals, yeah. Let a 38-year-old Kareem win finals MVP. Yeah, it happened.
It happened. It's not negative, but it happened. Play less than 1,000 games.
It's negative.
Play less than 1,000 games.
Is that a positive? Is that a positive? Yeah. If you play less than 1,073 games, that's like an amazing feat.
I don't care if you play.
No, you gotta play.
Yeah. If you play, listen, if you played longevity is bad, and if you play less than 1,000 games is bad. So you have to play just 1,000 games. That's
No,
it.
you gotta
Go
play
Oh
over
my
1,000.
God.
No,
You go
once
over
you get to
1,000 is longevity.
1,073, once you get to 1,073, it's over with.
It's
It's
over.
over
Nah,
with.
see, I know where you going with that.
It's
because
over
you
with.
want to play the.
It's
Once
over
you
with.
go,
Like
once you
on,
play
man.
you can't go with that
1,001.
73.
Yeah, once you go 1,001, it's longevity, and if you play
Nah,
999,
God.
it's too short of a career. That's it. You got to play 1,000 games. If not, I don't want to hear it. That's what it is. It's a negative.
All right, let's go ahead and move to
All
Kareem.
right, we're gonna go to Kareem, which is funny because I found this picture. He didn't have no knee braces on. He was actually balling without knee braces and goggles. But we know that Kareem only won with Big O and Magic as a teammate. He demanded a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers. He won an MVP and didn't make the playoffs. Thank you, DA, for that. I appreciate you, DA. Thank you for giving me that information. He let a rookie win Finals MVP. He was a horrible teammate. He also got swept twice in the finals. All right. He won MVPs when Dr. J wasn't in the NBA. Okay. He only won 2 scoring titles. He's a bad free throw shooter. He has no defensive players of the year, and he has longevity. And he let Bruce Lee kick his ass. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. He won with Big O and Magic. Yep, that's a fact. Demand a trade to LA. Fact. Won MVP. Went. Yeah, he did that. Let a rookie. Which rookie? Hold on. Oh, you talking about Magic? Yeah,
man. He got
Yeah,
hurt.
he
He
did.
got hurt that series. He actually was.
that's
a better
when Magic
player.
played the center, right?
Yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt game 5,
Yeah.
and Magic played incredible game
So I
6, and
tried
they
to
gave
the
it to Magic.
final.
But in reality, he should have won it, but they gave it to
Yeah,
Magic.
well, they gave it to him for a reason.
He should have got Nike sneakers, and he wouldn't have had to sprain his ankle. So let's go. Continue.
I would say I would word that different with the 1 MVPs when Dr. J wasn't in the NBA, which is a fact. I would have say would have won all his MVPs in the 70s.
He won 3
You-
MVPs while Dr. J was in the ABA, and Dr. J had won 2 MVPs the same year.
Yeah,
that Kareem won
I
MVPs.
agree with that. Like he wouldn't have those MVPs. Well, possibly.
Who knows? Who knows?
Possibly. Let me say that.
Wasn't-
You said the
wasn't
players
scored
voted,
title.
right? You said the players voted then, right? Dr.
So-
But
J was
Dr.
way
J
much
was
more.
so yeah,
Exactly.
he's popular.
He'd
So
probably
I
won
guess
like 4 in a row.
They did.
Yeah,
They
that's
did.
true.
You guys know that Dr. J got drafted to the Bucks?
yes.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't
he's
know that.
It
absolutely
would have
right.
been Kareem, Oscar, and Dr. J on the same team.
Yeah,
And
that
Bobby-
would have been
and
nasty.
Dandridge, right? Was it Dandridge? Yeah, I think Dandridge was on that team too, right? No? By then, 72, 73, Bob Dandridge.
Man,
I'm correct.
just imagine
Or
if
was it
Dr.
Vicky
J and
Pierce?
Kareem in the 70s on the same team. Man,
Wow, that would have been incredible. He would have never left. He would have stayed there. He would never went to LA.
man, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, I really don't have too much to say about
You
this.
wouldn't have
Of
had no
course, I'm not going to
38,000
say it
points. I'll
about
tell you that much.
Well,
But who knows? Who knows?
that's not true.
Kareem didn't like put up a ton of points all the time, but he did have a few seasons over 30.
Yeah, but Kareem,
Yeah,
I mean,
wait.
not Kareem. Dr. J joined the team with Doug Collins and George McGinnis, which was both 20-point per game scorers. Or they actually
Yeah.
scored more than 20 points per game. So that was one of the things they were wondering how they were going to fit. So Dr. J fit well with a lot of people, man. Dr. J was great. That's why he's not on the negative list. So don't look for Dr. J at all.
All right, let's
That's
go ahead and
negative.
move.
That's a negative.
You guys got anything else to say about this one?
Nah, not me.
Okay.
What about you? No, Devontae? No? Oh,
Nothing.
wow.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
the only one that spoke about that last one.
All right, so we came across this. I came across this today on our Facebook page. NBA News and Videos always shares our post, and we share their post. And they brought this up here. These are all the players that's been swept in the playoffs. And if you look at it, you can see who's been swept a lot. Now, I know everybody says LeBron got swept in the finals twice, but so did Magic, and so did Kareem. And Shaq got swept in the finals once. And if you get swept in the first round, which I believe only Shaq and Jordan are the only one that have multiple first round sweeps here on this list. I got to double check Kobe. But yeah, that's what it is. And I think Bird got swept in the conference finals before, if I believe so, if I'm correct, by the Sixers in '83.
Hold on, didn't he get? No.
Because I know the Sixers in '83 only lost one game. I don't know who they lost that one game to.
What about that? The Pistons.
Second round.
Did he get? Yeah.
I'm not
Did
sure.
Bird get swept in?
I know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But it wasn't in the first round. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was in the first round.
I'm not sure because I definitely know they swept the Lakers. That's all I know.
Yeah, they did sweep the Lakers, and the Sixers swept the Lakers in '83.
He said Jordan never got swept in the finals.
He never got swept in the finals. We got swept in the first round. That's worse.
It's worse in real life. It's worse to get swept earlier, but everyone else has different opinions about that. All right, so let's go ahead and go in on LeBron. I know you guys have a million things about LeBron. I just added a few. Lost in the finals 6 times, swept in the finals twice, missed the playoffs 4 times, the most turnovers all time. Underperformed, choked in the 2011 finals, only 1 scoring title, never won Defensive Player of the Year, played on multiple teams, won a bronze in the Olympics, and only 4 NBA titles. You guys can add more to it.
Only 4? That's
only
it?
4.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, y'all got real silent all of a sudden. What happened to all negativity?
Y'all can go in on LeBron.
I thought I gave y'all a little chance here. That I was, y'all was following me. I was very negative. Let's keep it going.
He didn't go to college.
Well, he didn't go to college, right? Yeah, he didn't go to college.
That I wouldn't say that's a negative because if that's the case, you should have put that on Kobe too.
Some say he choked in 07 finals as well.
I'll say he underperformed in 07.
They said that he got outperformed by Anthony Davis in 2020. He won a bubble championship. It's a Mickey Mouse chip. It's an asterisk. Some say it's 3. Some say it's 3.5.
Some say it's 3.25.
I mean, like with that championship,
I mean, he do have 2 championships that came under an 82, less than 82 game played season. I mean, you can put that as a negative.
Definitely a negative.
Yeah.
Listen, Craig, you ain't supposed to be coming up with smart shit like that.
I'm saying it happened.
Oh yeah. Oh, somebody wrote here 15 first round picks traded for his team. So LeBron has a lot of trades and people traded for his teams. He played with the most Hall of Famers and top 75 players of his era. No matter no matter where they were at in their career, but he still played with them.
Yeah.
Only why isn't the longevity up there?
Yeah. Why you didn't put that on there? Everybody.
I made this one, so I didn't put it up there.
Oh, I got you.
You're
a smart man, Brandon.
He was supposed to put it up there. He was supposed to put it
up there. He didn't put it up there because longevity is not a negative.
Every day, me and Brandon has to battle the longevity conversation. Every day. Don't make no sense.
Someone say he didn't make the playoffs his first two years.
He didn't make the playoffs his first 2 seasons. That's true. Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
That might turn into 5 if they don't get it together this year.
Well, the refs got to get it together first. Shit.
I mean, it was a foul, but you still got 5 minutes to play.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, do you think he would have made both free throws, or he would have choked like y'all think? You think
he only need to make one?
It's 5. It's 5 minutes. I believe he would have hit his free throws. It's 5 minutes.
I believe he wouldn't have missed 2. He would have made at least 1.
He would have made at least 1.
I believe he would have hit both.
He would have made at least 1 to win the game.
Ooh, damn, we got a new Ralph around here. This is a special.
No, I am.
That boy got his breakfast.
The thing is, I felt like with 5 minutes, I did have my breakfast though. But I'm just saying, like 5 minutes left, he would have hit it because you still got more game to play.
It's
not as much pressure.
It's just deflating when something like that happens. Then.
Oh, you didn't put the bronze medal. He got bronze medals. You've got to.
He got it down there.
It's up there.
It's up there. Oh yeah. Okay,
second to the last.
Okay, I see. You're right. All right, you're right. I see that.
I can see this.
Well, it's all right. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
It's more things I just can't think of.
Well, how about this? How about this? If you're gonna put down bronze for him getting a bronze medal in the Olympics, then you got to get all those guys in '88 that lost to Oscar Schmidt.
But they weren't college kids though, right?
Doesn't matter. Talking about the Olympics.
Well, to the haters, it do. They're gonna, the haters. I mean, but yeah, that's true though. There wasn't.
Yeah,
what's his name? Danny Manning. Danny Manning was on that team.
David Robinson.
David
Robinson. Yeah.
Who else was on that team?
You know, they actually think LeBron played by himself on the Olympics. So
I think Reggie Lewis was on that team. No, was it Reggie?
Players on the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, but again. That's why they made the dream. The dream team in '92 is because they did lose in '88.
Yeah, that was really embarrassing. Oscar Schmidt was a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He was one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead to our leg slide then.
Yeah, let's go to the ultimate.
That's gonna be like a textbook, right? With chapter 1.
You gonna have to slide.
Look, I told you.
So 3 first-round losses, swept twice in the first round, missed the playoffs twice. He played in Washington. Like that's a negative. Only 6 finals in 15 seasons. Only 6 in 15 seasons. What the hell was he doing other 9 years? Never won in the 80s. I don't know why. He's the greatest player to walk earth. 1-9 without Pippen. I don't know why Pippen couldn't even average 20 for his whole career. 5 losing season out of 15. So a third of his career, he couldn't even win over 41 games. And all of them was without Scottie Pippen. So that's a nice correlation. He quit twice in the NBA. Last 5 or 6 seasons, he averaged under 30 points per game. The last 7 seasons, he shot under 50% from the field. He has the highest usage rate of all time. I know some people think that's a positive. Weird. Never beat a great team. The greatest team he beat was probably the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The 89 Knicks. The 89 Knicks. That was it. Or the 98 Utah, but 97 Utah. 97 Utah.
The Bulls thrived when he, left in 93. Never won a title without Pippen in the field.
And he quit twice.
Hey.
He quit 3 times.
No.
He did quit 3 times. He quit 3 times. He could have
last
played.
time he retired. That's the last time he retired.
He could have kept playing. They voted him off the team. He got voted off the team. That's another thing.
He got fired.
He got fired. He got fired off the
Wizards.
That's another negative. That's another negative.
Can't argue with.
And he was a bad three. Well, you've got to put bad 3-point shooter. He was a bad 3-point shooter.
Below it.
High volume shooter, and he has longevity.
Yo, you sound like a troll today, bro.
he sounded like one of them crazy Jordan fans.
No, he sound like your boy that normally come over here. I forgot his name.
Twin Man, don't do that to Twin Man. Don't do that to Twin Man.
You even said that.
Don't do that to Twin Man.
You wasn't talking about him. You said his name.
I know, because I know that's who he was talking about. That's our
the first
our LeBron
one I can't
James.
argue. Second one I can't argue. Third one I can't argue. Definitely the fourth. I hated that he came back to Washington. Only 6 finals period. I mean, I wouldn't even say that's even a negative. Only 6 out of 15 seasons. Never won in the 80s. I mean, that's growing pains. I wouldn't say that's a negative. 1-9 in playoffs without Pippen. That's a fact. 5 losing seasons out of 15. All right. I'll give you that. Quit. Definitely screw that. Last 5 out of 6. I mean, he led the league in scoring. I mean, that's the last 7 seasons under. It happened. Highest usage rate of all time. True. I mean, I don't see that's
it's Jokic now. This is old. You gotta update.
No. Jokic is box plus minus.
Yeah, box plus minus.
Yeah,
box plus minus.
Jordan's still number 1 in usage rate.
Is Westbrook still number 2?
Luka gonna pass everybody, but
okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Never beat a great team. I wouldn't say.
Don't say your Knicks, because the Knicks were never great.
Nah, don't say that. My Knicks destroyed that Heat after y'all stole Pat Riley.
February 2nd, young man. February 2nd.
And he got a losing record against us too, right? Yeah. But never beat a great team. I mean, that Stockton and Malone team was. I consider that was a great team.
They said they never beat a Greek team because they never won. They never won in finals. So that's what this was about. All his teams, those opponents never won.
He never beat a great team. That's, I mean,
what would you define a great team?
A team that wins.
Thank you.
But if you can't win, if you keep losing, so
exactly, and they lost more than just the Jordan. They didn't lose 20 years.
They beat a great team because he stopped them from winning.
What about 95, 96,
95,
93? Who stopped them then? It wasn't Jordan.
Hold on, 93. He won the
championship.
Well, that wasn't 94. Really the only great team in the 90s was really the Bulls. They didn't. Every team was different every year. Every team had a better record every year. Like there wasn't no constant.
It was only the Cavs and the Knicks that were better than Chicago throughout the 90s. Those were the only two teams that had a better record.
Nah, that Pacers.
And the Phoenix
nice too.
The Pacers definitely wasn't a great team.
They were a good team. Now, matter of fact, had a better record. Miami had a better record at one point when the Bulls was in there. No, they did. They were the number one seed. They were a good team. You had Mashburn, you had Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning, all in their prime together. Those were good players.
Look at you talking about my Heat. Stop it. Let's
it's a fact. See, he ain't gonna argue because that's now Bulls tried when he left in '93. Yeah, because they were a great team. Like when he was they just came off a championship team. So I mean, they were a good team. They just couldn't get over the hump. Never won the. I mean, that's true. Never won the title without Pippen and Phil. I mean, there's only a few that I don't agree with.
That's a little bit too much for me because you wasn't like that for nobody else. I don't like that.
No, I did.
You had like one or two that was wrong. This one here, you found like 5 or 6. You was
no. I didn't agree with the quit. I said get that out of here. I didn't agree. The 6 finals. I mean, that's not a negative. That's the only.
What about the growing pains? The never won in the 80s. You said the growing pains.
I mean, you can say that about a lot because LeBron didn't win in the 2000s. Shaq didn't win in the 90s. I mean, a lot of players do that.
They won their conference though. They won their conference. At least they could do that.
No, Shaq was at the bottom.
Shaq made the finals in 3 years.
Shaq was in the finals.
4 years.
Well, after that time, yeah, he did.
Bird made the finals in 2 years. Magic made the finals first year. Kareem made the finals his second year.
Look what
Kareem,
Bird got
Wilt
into.
made the finals in.
Look what Bird came into.
Dr. J made the finals his second year or his first year. Dr. J made the finals first year in the league.
Look what he came into.
Who?
Look what type of team he came into when he.
I'm saying. I mean,
Jordan came into a nice team.
Jordan in 1988.
Jordan and LeBron came to a sorry team when they first came in the league.
Yeah, but
those other players came into good teams already.
In 1988, Jordan should have beat Detroit. He would have been in the finals, but he couldn't do that. So
in 98?
In 88.
What? 88?
89.
88.
88. Lost in the second round.
Played 4 times.
I know that, but they would have beat. If Detroit beat Boston, the Chicago would have beat Boston.
I mean,
Michael would have came back and scored 70.
Beat them 4-1.
He would have scored 70 in the next series. He would have did that. That's what Jordan would have did. That's what I'm saying. That's what Jordan does. He doesn't, he had to lose because that was something that he thought in his career that he needed. He's like, I need to lose this time. I need to lose this time because in 91, I'm going to show everybody I'm the greatest.
What I think you should put as a negative is that Jordan had to learn to play team ball. That should have been on.
Yeah, you don't got here.
He never learned that.
Yes, after a while he did.
When did he learn that?
After a while he did because he was shooting so many attempts. He was leading the league in attempts. He had to be told that he could not do that to win.
He still led the league in attempts.
Still exactly.
But like the amount that he had. Like what he was shooting was crazy compared to when he brought it down.
Only him and Will done that. No?
It's your turn, Devontae, because they don't want to do it. I know you ready to do it. Come on, add to the list. Let's go. It's negativity time.
Ain't nothing to add. It's all right there. And it's all right there.
So you agree with 6 finals out of 15 seasons is bad?
Yeah, man, you gotta go at least 50% of your career if you're the GOAT.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
most
You
players,
gotta win.
most players
You
did
gotta
more.
win.
You
You
know,
gotta
most players
win.
did more.
Now you got to make it because it's
You
not.
gotta
Listen,
win.
so let me ask y'all a question: was it better for LeBron to not make those finals those 6 years and losing the Western and losing those conference finals instead of making the finals? Was that better for his career to be 4-0 instead of 4-6?
I felt like he should have. If you good enough to get there, you should be able to win.
Both teams are good enough to win. That's why they're there.
No, but should he have lost before? Is that a negative, losing in the final round, or is it better to lose before the final round?
I don't think it's a negative, but
No
it's
one
not a
says
positive.
your resume say how many you won. They don't care about how many times you got there, how many times you lost. They're gonna say 4
Thank you.
final MVPs, 4
Thank you.
finals. They don't care about how many times you went.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
they
you.
don't say that about
Thank
other
you.
players.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's why I said.
No one
That's
says
why
Magic has 5 championships with 9 appearances. No one says
Yes,
Kareem got
right.
6 championships with 10.
Right.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
You-
So why?
exactly.
So why are we mentioning LeBron's 6 finals appearances?
Why
Why
we
we
always said
Why we have
that
to
he
talk about
lost?
that?
What do you mean talk about that? We didn't even talk about it.
No, the media.
That's what it's
The
talked
media.
about. That's
what they talk about all the time.
Hey,
No, guys,
you
they-
get the numbers and call them because we don't know.
No, this is what they do. They talk. Y'all highlight. The reason why they talk about the losses because it's always highlighted. LeBron went to 8 straight finals. So when you highlight the final appearances, people is going to highlight the final losses.
No, not true. Because if you go to Magic Johnson's bio on the NBA page, it says 9 finals appearances. It tells you this guy has 12 finals appearances. They name how many times you go into the finals. They just don't mention when you lose because that's not. Nobody wants to talk about negativity but Jordan fans because you have to make
So
Jordan
you're gonna
go.
say 10 finals appearances with 4 losses. Then you're gonna say, well, what happened?
No, you're just gonna say a
They-
5-time championship and 9-time finals appearance. That's
A lot
it.
of people
With
ain't
LeBron,
gonna
he's
read
4
the
and
bio.
6.
They're gonna look at the listings of the accomplishments. No, the average person is
Conference.
not gonna be like, let me read this whole paragraph and say. Not most people's gonna do that.
Conference
When-
titles matter. The NBA has a banner, trophy, and celebration for winning your conference. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
It doesn't hold a lot of
So
weight.
you putting more emphasis on conference championships than final championships.
No, we're not. Who said that? We
I
just
mean, how's that possible?
Who brings up conference championships? No one.
when people bring up finals losses, because you say that there's no participation trophy or you don't get nothing for being in the finals, but they actually do get
You get
something for
another
making
check.
the
You
finals.
get a bonus
You
for
be-
making the
That
finals.
is not a negative. That's a positive. That's what you guys don't understand. So again,
it's actually a positive to make it to the finals.
that's
It's
the
not a
point.
negative. In real
But
life,
no
it's a
one- I
positive
never
to make
said
it to the
it's a
finals.
negative to make the finals. I'm highlighting the wins for both players. The wins.
Yeah,
That's
4
how
and
it
6.
should be.
That's all it should
Like
be. It should
Kobe's
say
a
4.
5-time champion, Magic a 5-time champion, LeBron's 4 and 6.
Nah,
That's how it goes.
I wouldn't.
Jordan
say
6
that.
and 0. Scottie Pippen is just 6 champions instead of 6 and 0.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like
and
you
a
can
lot
say
of, a lot of those
LeBron
trolls
is going
say
to be
that,
the
you know?
all-time leading scorer, but he lost 6 times in the finals. That's how it's going to go. Yes,
Nah,
that's how the media states it.
I don't care what the media say.
I mean, the
saying
media is
what
what everyone gets their information from. That's the problem.
Well,
And
I
they
mean, people are
regurgitate this
selective with the
daily.
media as well too, because there's people that name Hall of Famers. I mean, you're selective with it. So you listen to the media, sometimes you don't. It all depends on the conversation.
That's true.
With the media. So
Durante said it's a negative to go home without the Larry O'Brien trophy. Well, guess what? Over 29 teams or 20-something teams go home without it. So if you lose in the first round, you go home without it. You lose in the second round, you go home without it. If you lose in the conference finals, you go home without it. And if you lose in the finals, you go home without it. Losing in the playoffs means you're never going to win a championship. You can't lose in the first round and still have a chance to win a championship. So it's the same thing. It's worse to lose in your conference finals than to lose in the finals, y'all. I don't care what y'all say. It's better to be in the finals and have a chance or legitimate chance of winning than to say, oh, I lost in the first round. Kevin Durant did not have a better season than Jason Tatum last year. Simple and plain. No matter what how y'all want to cut
that's
this.
your point. That's your opinion. I mean, when you lose, you lose. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not gonna hold with the championship. That's the name
So
of the game in my eyes.
You're gonna equate the Brooklyn Nets season as the same thing as what Boston Celtics did last year. It's the same thing.
The results are the same. It don't matter.
The results.
They have
The results are not the same. One made it to the finals.
One team has an Eastern Conference championship.
Oh yeah, it matters now because you get a conference final MVP, so it matters now.
No,
I mean,
no,
because
you always got
a conference
title.
There's always been a conference title.
The goal,
conference finals MVP.
Didn't Michael Jordan cry? Didn't Michael Jordan cry because he lost in 1990s Eastern Conference Finals? Like he was in poo-hoo tears to his daddy had to come on the bus. Like
you are making it so dramatic of what he cried. I mean, I don't know if he did. I mean, he did.
He did.
If he did, he did. But my thing is like,
why is he crying? Why is he crying?
Because he didn't make it to the finals.
Oh,
I mean, he didn't make it to the finals. It's a fact.
Hey, listen, we gotta get ready for the Niners. We gotta get ready for my Niners. It's time to go.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes over anyway.
We've been negative enough. This is the last negative show we ever gonna have.
Yo,
don't make us do it again. We don't want to go here. Okay, we like to talk about greatness. We like to talk about greatness. And as y'all can see, when people get negative, like we get negative, you can see how silly it sounds, how stupid you look when you're saying all these negative things about players because you don't want to accept their greatness for who they are and what they attributed to the game of basketball. So this is what we do in GOAT James Kingdom. We actually appreciate greatness. We don't care about your negativity. We don't care about that. But since y'all love to have the eye test, we gave y'all our eye test today. And don't get mad at ours because we can see just as good as you do. Brandon, you want to say anything before we go?
Go ahead, Ralph.
I'm not gonna say that, man. It's like, we looked at a lot of negatives and we pointed out to some things that everybody lacked. Every player have their negatives. You can't say one player is just perfect. There's that I will never say Jordan was perfect.
All right, but
6-0 is perfect.
He's always being considered as the perfect player. He never lost. We see this crap going around all the time. He never lost. He never lost when it counted, but somehow the other years don't count. But we only want to praise Jordan for his positive things and discredit LeBron for his negative things. We cannot appreciate both of them as NBA players.
I get it by y'all being the admins of y'all groups and everything, and I get a lot of that. But I've been saying
majority group. That's why this
I'm gonna say like within this panel, we do try to be as objective as possible.
Yeah, the panel does.
Of course. That's what we just said. Yeah, that's what GOAT James Kingdom is about.
You guys are, but we see certain things in the media. And I was going to bring up a video about the media, how they were saying how it was ridiculous to say Kareem is the greatest of all time. I was going to bring that video. I'm going to save it for next week, but they were literally saying it's ridiculous to put Kareem as the greatest of all time.
Next week it's going to be a Super Bowl next week. Brandon and I's team is going to be in the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Niners and the Chiefs next week. We are doing a Super Bowl Sunday special show. I'm saying it right now.
Well, it's going to be the following Sunday because
I know about the Chiefs.
You're right.
You better.
Right, that's true. Okay, it's the next following Sunday. Okay, all right, but you're right. All right, but go ahead, y'all.
You better not jinx your team, man.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I don't be honest with you. The Chiefs is not winning today. I'm not even gonna get my hopes up. Mahomes is limping.
Thank you. You got the right idea.
Joe Burrow. I
mean, we did it last year.
I can't say nothing about it. I can't say nothing about Joe Burrow. Like,
you better worry about that defensive line, Johnny. That's what's going to be scary.
What?
That defensive line.
Debo, Poker Face Purdy, CMC.
You better worry about that.
Nick Bosa.
All right, we see y'all guys next week.
Yeah, we see y'all next week, man. Thanks for joining GOAT James.
Hey, I'm gonna try to work on that, by the way, for you, Johnny. Those graphs. I'm gonna see
I appreciate that. So you have no haters in your group. I gotta jump on there and start hating. Then no, I gotta do that. I gotta start hating.
Well, in our group, the thing is, we ain't got no LeBron fans to come in there like that. Let them come on. Hey, y'all come on in.
Don't join Jordan.
We will
exactly. Hey, we don't do stuff like that.
Don't join Jordan.
The thing is, they could come. We have no problem with them coming. But you better cut. what I
Why?
always say, you better come correct. If you don't, hey, you gonna
Yeah,
hear me.
Why?
because you're gonna hear
you
that
got
6
why? Because you got
Perfect.
I don't. You don't hear me use that.
you got DA and Omar over there just shutting it down. You got DA.
They over there too. I mean,
I know.
DA, Omar.
I be seeing their posts. I be seeing their posts, man. Peace
Yeah.
to those brothers too, man. Peace out to DA, Omar, Trey, all the Jordan advocates over there that come in our group fucking with us. Peace to everybody.
All right,
man.
see y'all.
All right,
Have a
fellas.
great Sunday, man. Be good, fellas. Thanks again, y'all. Go,
All right,
Jay.